What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and of course I'm from the WiseTake Nation, which you can find on all the social media platforms listed above or directly at WiseTake.com. If you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level, we are a premium DFS content provider, as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out. The pass is available at WiseTake.com. If you're new to this channel, welcome. You've come to the right place for some free fire DFS content. So make sure you subscribe with notifications bell so you don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Covering slates Monday through Friday. MLB stream Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look. Covering slates Monday through Friday, making this the last show of the week. So happy Friday for those of you that are watching this after the fact. Happy Friday to those of you watching this live, because there's a good chance you're watching this live. You're done with work, or you're finishing up your Thursday shift, whatever the case is, still grinding it out Thursday night, and you got Friday coming up. So hopefully everybody's ready for the weekend, man. I know I am. Needless to say, we've got a massive slate on Friday. 15-game slate on Friday, so we got a lot to get into. Leonard, what's going on, man? Pat, what's going on, man? Always seeing you guys in the comments, in the chat. Now you guys are in the Slack, doing shit right, man. Doing shit right. Okay, let's get into this massive slate, starting with top pitchers. Again, as I always say, this is a first look show, so we're kind of looking to see what pops out to us up first, because whatever pops out to us first is probably going to pop out to most people when they actually look at the numbers. So make sure you check out my article if you're a WiseTake agent. Subscribe to my Core Plays article, where I go a little bit more in depth as to what my strategy is going to be that day, what teams I'm interested in, what pitchers I'm interested in for what types of contests, whether it's cash games, tournaments, or both. Go check that out. Anyway, so I'm going to start with Trevor Bauer. I know Carlos Rodon's on the slate, but we're going to talk about him in the What to Watch segment. So Trevor Bauer, he's at the center of this with Garrett Cole, with the whole sticky stuff that's going around the MLB. So for anyone who doesn't know, Bauer was complaining about this a couple years ago. For like 4 years now, he's been saying that now pitchers are cheating. And the reason he knew that is simply by looking at their spin rate. He knew he was unable to elevate his spin rate past a certain point without using foreign substances. And when he started seeing guys like Garrett Cole reach those levels of spin rate, he just knew they were using something. Long story short, after a bunch of complaining and calling these people out on internet interviews, whatever, he figured if the MLB's not going to enforce it, then I'm an idiot for not doing it myself. And he's right. You see Garrett Cole get with a 300 mil, whatever it was. Then yeah, and your Bauer and your team is fucking trading you because they don't think you're worth a damn, or at least not worth the money. Yeah, you go to Cincinnati, you start using foreign substances, you dominate, and you get a fucking fat contract like the Dodgers gave him. Question is, now that they're starting to crack down on this shit, is Bauer going to continue to use whatever he was using? Spin rates have been down for him. Yeah, he leads the league in spin rates. Spin rates been down for him. Spin rates been down for Garrett Cole since the MLB started bringing this shit up and cracking down. And he's been very vocal about this sticky stuff on his YouTube channel and all that shit. So I'm not even trying to say shady about it. That's why when he signed with the Dodgers, and I'd said to everybody like that he was cheating, and we'll see how good he is once he's not allowed to do that anymore. People immediately just jumped down my throat because saying I'm a bitter Met fan. He didn't pick the Mets, which is true, 100%. I wouldn't have said it at all if he signed with the Mets. I'd have just okay, keep using that shit. Let's go. But in all seriousness, it is a concern. But he's playing Arizona. I'm rambling. He's playing Arizona, who has been really good against lefties, but against righties, one of the worst teams in the league, with a 24.3% K rate, a 134 ISO, 294 WOBA, 84 WRC plus. So Bauer looks pretty good whether he does or does not use a substance. But we've seen Cole's performances kind of just like mediocrity, right? Corbin Burns is in Coors. Could have put this in the what to watch section, but I'm just a really big fan of Corbin Burns. I did know that Woodruff got a little roughed up, right, in the situation. Rockies are dead last in WRC plus against righties. 289 WOBA, 138 ISO, 23.8% K rate. They roughed up Woodruff though, and the strikeouts weren't exactly easy to come by for either pitcher. But I think Corbin Burns is just that nasty, so I don't care. Some of these other pitchers I got in the what to watch section. Alex Cobb, I'm going to skip down to you. Similarly to Charlie Morton, who finally had a good game. XFIP and Sierra tell a different story than his ERA. Right? Almost a 5, just under 5 for the ERA, but a 2.66 XFIP, 3.11 Sierra, some of the best numbers on the slate, with a 28% K rate, a 60% ground ball rate. Batting average balls in play, 357. Yeah, a little unlucky, I'd say. He's playing Detroit, who has a 27% K rate against righties, a 160 ISO, a 301 WOBA, and a 90 WRC plus. Alex Cobb is firmly in the conversation, especially on FanDuel, where he's 7,500. Kikuchi, the Kikuchi is loose against Tampa Bay. Is at home, pitcher-friendly park. We know Tampa is very strikeout heavy. Just how strikeout heavy are they? Well, against lefties, 28.3% with a 144 ISO and a 293 WOBA. They've been much worse against lefties. So Kikuchi definitely firmly in play. 8.6 is not a bad price at all on DraftKings. We got Jose Barrios on the road. We know it's a guy that we like to play at home, but he's on the road against Texas. Kind of an interesting matchup. Texas has a 26% K rate, a 147 ISO, a 299 WOBA, and a 90 WRC plus against righties. What is this? And then there's Barrios with decent numbers. They look fine. What's the price? 8.5 on DraftKings, not bad. 9K on FanDuel. Leonard says he's going to his daughter's tomorrow, Nashville, for the NASCAR races. Oh, sick, man. All right, man. My boy, my brother-in-law is really into NASCAR. We used to cover NASCAR, and he did for DFS, and he would do a NASCAR package. We started up a second business, so he's been occupied with that. So we dismantled the NASCAR package, but good shit, Leonard. Good shit. It's all about that family time. I'm learning that now. What else we got here? We got Nick Pivetta. I did put Pivetta on the list, even though I'm nervous about this one. Just mediocre. 27% K rate's cool. Like, he's a 44% fly ball rate, but this is Kansas City, one of the best pitching parks out there. And Kansas City, I mean, they're not exactly slouches, right? Like 143 ISO, 301 WOBA, but a 22.2% K rate. They're not just a bunch of pushovers. But I did put him on the list because he's cheap. Like I said, I know there's a lot of pitchers on the slate, and I didn't talk about some of them, but we will. Some of them are in the what to watch section of the show. And before we get there, fucking heartburn, man. Before we get there, we're gonna go to top offenses. So Brewers are still in Coors. I know the Brewers are not an exciting offense. Matter of fact, they are only above the Rockies in WRC plus against righties at 80. With a 287 WOBA, 148 ISO, but they're actually, they're like in first place, up there with the Cubs in their division. Not that means anything for DFS. You can see by their numbers they have not been a good fantasy team, but they're in Coors. And while they saw Herman Marquez on Thursday, they will see Antonio Senzatella, who's awful and doesn't strike people out. And that's the Brewers' biggest issue, right? They strike out a lot, so should see a lot of balls put into play. The Braves have been doing me dirty. They really have. They're a good offense. They have not played like the dominant offense that they usually are. But they get C-Mart, who's been garbage, man. C-Mart's been getting destroyed. This is not the same C-Mart that we knew in years past. But obviously, we know the Braves, one of the top offenses in the league. 190 ISO against righties, 323 WOBA, yada, yada, yada. And we know that the Cardinals' bullpen is trash. So the Braves have been killing me, but I'll be playing them once again, most likely. Oakland, anytime Oakland's in a park boost situation, we're interested, right? They're going into Yankee Stadium to play Jameson Taillon, who does have a 25% K rate. We take a look at Oakland, 174 ISO. And again, these guys play their home games in Oakland, that big-ass pitching park. 315 WOBA, 105 WRC+. If they can put the ball in play, Taillon does have a 47% fly ball rate. And this game's in Yankee Stadium. It's a massive boost for this offense. So I think Oakland's offense is interesting. Toronto is on the road, but they're in Baltimore. In a very hitter-friendly park against Bruce Zimmerman. Toronto, 170 ISO against lefties, 327 WOBA, but they're just a pretty good offense. And again, it's still a good hitting park. And last but not least, probably the least popular of the bunch in terms of ownership, Mike Folty's on the slate, but he's at home in Texas against the Twins. The Twins are kind of the opposite of the Brewers. They have good offensive numbers, 179 ISO against righties. We like to see that, but record-wise, they're terrible. So more important to us in DFS, I guess. Funny how that happens. Things to watch. So Carlos Rodon against Houston. Rodon has a 37.2% K rate. He's been awesome this year, but we know that Houston, 17.2% K rate against righties. They are missing Bregman, who's on the 10-day IL, so that could play an impact, a role. But this is going to be an interesting show now. 346 WOBA, 126 WRC plus, tied with the White Sox for the best WRC plus in the league. Robbie Ray against Baltimore. Robbie Ray's got some of the best numbers on the slate, no doubt. I'm not trying to slight him in any way. But look who's third in WRC plus against lefties with a 20.9% K rate and a 178 ISO, the Baltimore Orioles. Who's got the stones to, on a slate like this, to stack up the Baltimore Orioles against Robbie Ray? Interesting show now. Last but not least, Max Fried, who I don't know. To me, it seems like this year specifically he's regressed. I considered him to be their best pitcher, or one of, right? Their best pitcher's hurt, but I consider him to be one of their best pitchers. Last season, and this year has not necessarily been the case. He's playing St. Louis, who is fourth in WRC plus against lefties, with a 115, a 333 WOBA, 179 ISO, and a 22.4% K rate. Leonard says Braves play poorly when I pick them. Figure they know I'm a Nats fan. They might know I'm a Mets fan. Yeah, it certainly seems that way. They don't want to do no favors for us, my man. Definitely seems that way. But that's going to round out the things to watch. Rodon versus Houston, Robbie Ray at Baltimore, Max Fried versus St. Louis. All three interesting matchups. Dong Watch going Christian Yelich, number one. Talked about the Brewers. I'm going back to Freddie Freeman. He hurt me a couple days in a row now, but I'm going to go back to Freddie Freeman. And the wild card, another infielder, Matt Olson, who is the Freddie Freeman pivot that I like right now. It's just thinking of him getting that short porch in Yankee Stadium in right field. I'm interested. Anyway, Nation, that's going to do it for us today. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to leave your comments. Even if you're watching this after the fact, leave some comments. I want to hear your thoughts on the slate. I'd like to go back and review that and hear some of the feedback. I'm curious to hear what you guys think. Curious to hear everything about the slate, the show, everything. Hit the like button on your way out as well. Share the show as much as you can. We appreciate it. The more we're able to grow, the more we're able to put back into the product, and enhance these shows and maybe even do a little bit more. So I appreciate you guys. Keep doing what you do to help us get to where we need to get. And have a great weekend again. We still cover baseball. I still write the article. Projections and cheat sheets, by the way, are Saturday and Sunday. The Core Plays article and Paulie D's Dirt Sheet are Saturday. So we'll still be rocking throughout the weekend. That being said, for myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.